Hey guys, it's Bro You Whack, and Blizzard's last chance to try to win everyone over and return to the glory days is coming up because Blizzcon is happening this up-and-coming weekend. And after waiting 4 years for Blizzard's biggest stage to return, I fully expect them to be firing on all cylinders when it comes to announcements, especially for Overwatch 2. So today, I want to give my predictions of what we could possibly see get announced at this year's BlizzCon for Overwatch 2. And this is going to be based off of past BlizzCons, also just the crowd's expectations, but also what I would personally do. And the first thing that's already been said that they're going to be doing is announcing a brand new hero at BlizzCon. But what I think would be a smart move to do, because we already know that a new tank hero is getting announced because, well, Season 8 is going to be coming up about a month after BlizzCon, and they could easily announce the new tank hero at the beginning of the convention, but at the very end of the convention, they could possibly even announce the Season 10 hero. Every BlizzCon had one hero announced, but never had they had two. And I think if you want to drive extreme hype into Overwatch, you would have a tank hero, and in my personal opinion, a DPS hero, because we already had 2 support heroes and really 3 support heroes released for Overwatch 2 already, but we have yet to have a DPS hero announced for Overwatch ever since the last BlizzCon in 2019. That's when Sojourn was announced, and she was the only DPS released. Well, who could be the announced hero at BlizzCon? Well, as always, you can always have some random new hero, sort of like Iliari or Lifeweaver, but you can also have already established characters like Maximilian or a MEKA squad member or someone like Mauga. Now, Maximilian I think could be an announced here because he's already a heavily portrayed character with an established voice actor that already had some screen time in a PvE mission from Overwatch 1. The only issue with him getting announced is that he would be an evil Omnic hero, where we already got one announced earlier this year with Ramatra. A MEKA squad member I think could be possible because of their involvement with PvE and the lore of Overwatch, and it would also just be a popular character to announce. Overlord is someone that for some reason the Overwatch community really wants to see be a playable hero, but I personally would want to see d.mon get announced because this could be the foil of D.Va and also someone that could actually dive deep into D.Va's lore because she's a relatively random character in the Overwatch world. And with the recent announcement of the collaboration between Le Seraphim and Overwatch, I think having another South Korean hero wear one of the skins from the K-pop group I think would be an excellent decision. But the only issue with a MEKA squad member is that there's really no hints at this actually happening compared to someone like Mauga. Similar to the Junker Queen, Mauga has popped up in a few instances in Overwatch lore, specifically with Baptiste's lore and his story, but even recently there have been hints at him possibly being the next announced hero because of Samoa, because this is where Mauga is from, but also seen throughout the map, there is like a book with Baptiste and ties with Mauga, so a lot of people are drawing hints at that this is going to be possibly the next announced hero, or at some point a hero that could be announced. Now, the second thing that has to be announced on the biggest stage known as BlizzCon is more PvE missions. This is the whole reason for Overwatch 2's existence, and it has been the biggest letdown in gaming history. But like I said at the beginning of the video, this is Overwatch's chance to try to win people back, and the way that they can do it is maybe not fulfill their original promise with skill trees and replayable missions, but at least just more PvE missions. So here's what I think that they're probably gonna do. They're gonna announce anywhere from 3 to 6 new PvE missions that are gonna be released around Season 9. You see, it's already been announced that PvE missions will not be coming out until the year 2024, and well, Season 8, it comes out in 2023, but Season 9 comes out, I think, around February or so. So this is their chance to announce these missions and when they're gonna be coming out so that everyone knows when they can expect them, but also give people a little sneak peek, whether that's visually or possibly with a demo. But in terms of the playable missions, I mean, we had a cliffhanger at the end of the 3rd mission where we could possibly play with heroes like Zenyatta and Genji and maybe 2 more heroes that I don't know who it would be, but you also have the New Blood crew with Baptiste and D.Va and those heroes, but you also have heroes like the Junker Queen and Junkrat, Roadhog, and Hammond that are involved in the Junker world that is just kind of randomly there, but this is now your chance to expand their story to fit them more seamlessly in the Overwatch universe. Not to mention other random heroes that have stories that have yet to be tapped in, like Symmetra. I mean, we know a little bit about the Vishkar organization because of her voice line interactions, but we've never seen Symmetra in action. Well, this is their chance to have a mission that explains why Symmetra even exists in the first place. But another thing that's almost guaranteed, just like a new hero announcement, is a new Overwatch cinematic. This wouldn't be BlizzCon without an Overwatch cinematic. In 2019, we had the Overwatch 2 0 Hour cinematic where Overwatch 2 is back.
Does this mean Overwatch is back?
No.
Kinda! But I think with this year's BlizzCon, we can pick up right where we left off, whether that's trying to focus on another city where all of these heroes try to save it, but what I think is probably gonna happen is really focus on the New Blood heroes. I keep bringing up the New Blood heroes, but this is from the comic strip that we got from years ago that focused on Cassidy and D.Va and Zarya and Baptiste. And while we have seen cinematics with Cassidy and a little bit of D.Va, we haven't seen anyone like Zarya in action, who was only seen slightly in a cinematic ever since 2017. Baptiste, who yes is a relatively new hero but has such a rich story, and especially if someone like Mauga is announced, then he can be introduced in the Overwatch world. Like, there is so much possibilities with all these heroes that Blizzard just has to do it. You just gotta make the cinematics. But no matter what happens in the cinematic, I could definitely see the end feeding into the new playable PvE missions that they might announce during this year's BlizzCon. So whether this cinematic is announced at the very end or somewhere in the middle that then goes into PvE, either way, I think the cinematic and PvE missions will try to play with each other. Pause? Now, those are the classic big announcements that are probably almost guaranteed at this point, but other things that we can also expect around this time is the announcement of Season 8 and the content within it. Again, Season 8 is expected to come out around a month after BlizzCon takes place, and if you have front and center stage, might as well announce the thing that makes you the most amount of money, which are seasonal contents and events. So just like every seasonal event, I think we're gonna have a trailer, but this time we're gonna see it live at BlizzCon, where they're obviously gonna have the newest hero seen in action. We're also gonna see the Season 8 Battle Pass and also some of the cosmetics that's gonna come into the shop later throughout the months, but we're also probably gonna see some winter seasonal event content as well, like with May Snowball Fan, possibly a new game mode, but also some cute winter skins. But as always with every new season, a new Mythic Skin. But I ask you, who do you think would be the perfect candidate to give this season's Mythic Skin a Mythic Skin that everyone's gonna see front and stage? Well, if you were to ask me, I have a few guesses. The first one is the most popular hero that has yet to get a Mythic Skin, which is Mercy. Now, I know there's lots of Mercy haters, but you cannot deny that Mercy is the most popular hero in Overwatch, and if you're gonna have the biggest event where the majority of people have played Mercy at one point in their life, where you want them to buy the next season Battle Pass, it would only make sense to give Mercy your Mythic Skin finally. But the next candidate is someone like D.Va. I mean, she is the gamer hero. This is a gamer event, and D.Va, I think, would be a pretty good hero to give a Mythic Skin to during BlizzCon. But someone like Reaper, I think, would be a safe option because, well, everyone kind of likes the Reaper guy. He doesn't really annoy a lot of people, and he's a cool hero. You can't deny that. But I think what would be the funniest hero to get a Mythic Skin and announce it would be someone like Lucio. I think a lot of people have a good time with seeing a Lucio Mythic Skin get announced with this year's BlizzCon. But not everything is all about cosmetics, because another issue that people have with Overwatch 2 where Blizzard can finally just silence everybody's hatred is to announce competitive updates and fixes. Now, they did say that they will talk more about competitive changes at BlizzCon in a blog post posted about a week ago or so, but they need to do more than just talk about what they might be doing or what they think they'll be doing, because competitive is in the worst spot right now. This, alongside with PvE content, has been a huge complaint, and people want to go back to the old SR system. Now, if I know anything about Blizzard, is that when they implement something, they don't usually like to revert back to an old system because, well, that's not really new content, even though Overwatch hasn't really been known for new content. But this could be the chance to finally just announce either a new competitive system or just going back to the old SR system, because you have to remember that Blizzard knows that people don't play PvE, people don't care about cosmetics, but people really care about competitive and only playing competitive, so they have to appease everybody. So if they announce updates and fixes to competitive, whether it's with the new system or going back to the old SR system, then they succeed in that side of BlizzCon. But one thing that I would love to see get announced at this year's BlizzCon is a Soldier 76 Master Chief skin collab in Overwatch 2. I already know Xbox wants to be a part of one of the biggest conventions of all time, and I'm sure they'll find a way, but I think this is their opportunity opportunity to celebrate the recent acquisition of Microsoft bringing in Blizzard into their home. So what better way to do that than to have one of the biggest Microsoft icons of all time being represented with a Soldier 76 Master Chief skin. People would absolutely lose their minds, but not only that, but it also leave a sweet taste in people's mouths because Xbox can be like, huh, you like this? There's gonna be even more crossover events. There's gonna be even more projects within Overwatch 2 now that we own Overwatch, because there's some people that are worried about this acquisition because, well, what is Microsoft gonna do? But this could be their introduction as to what they are gonna do. Now, the acquisition just recently happened, so I don't think that there would be a full-fledged skin that's already been made and 3D rendered, but even if it's just concept art and if it's announced to be released sometime in the summer of 2024, I think this would be not only the perfect time to announce it, but also just be a great thing to announce in general. I know the K-pop group Le Sserafim is getting a skin collab, which I'm excited about, but that's happening like a couple days after BlizzCon. I don't think it would be too crazy to think that we can get another skin collab announcement of something that happens maybe 6 months down the road. Now, something that I wanted to talk about here that could be a possible announcement is something related to the Overwatch League because, well, we don't know what the future holds for the Overwatch League, but I don't even think Blizzard knows what's going to happen with the Overwatch League, so I don't think this would be something that's even talked about at this year's BlizzCon. It's already in such a negative spot that even if they were to make an announcement that Overwatch League is returning next year, but with only 12 teams, well, that would be considered a negative announcement because like 8 teams are leaving the league, so they might not even touch the Overwatch League with a 10-foot pole. But hot gamer boys and e-girls everywhere, those are my predictions for this year's BlizzCon, but let me know what you want to see at this year's BlizzCon. Is it a skin? Is it a hero? Is it a map? Just let me know in the comments down below. But I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch 2 videos to come, and bye.